Wow, guess what? I'm back. Prodacall podcast season 4. And guess who I'm with? I'm with the founder, the owner, the great mind that you could all know out here in Columbia, Missouri as Mr. Raymond Hall. What's up, brother?
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. You know what I'm saying? We from Missouri, so we might get a little country in here. But it is what it is, man. I just want to say, man, thank you for everything you've been doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And continuing to give us an actual safe space for kids to learn and to dream. And basically, for all of us in the community to come out and have a good, fun time, bro. If you want to tell them a little bit about what Dream Tree is, I know you can explain it a little better than I can right now, but yeah.
Dream Tree Academy, been around for about 5-6 years. We are a youth entrepreneurship and workforce development after school program for kids aged 8 to 18. We also have 18 to 80 we service too, and we utilize this space as an incubator. We do everything from t-shirt printing, stuff like this, podcasting, esports, music production and video production, financial literacy, the list goes on. We're teaching these kids to be the next contributor to the Columbia, Missouri ecosystem and outside of Columbia.
Right on. Yeah. So there are a few, I want to say, like, historic and winning stories right now. We have a shoe shop right here from a kid that was with a Dream Tree Academy. What's the name of that shoe shop?
It's called Soul Bros. That's
Bros.
One of our first year kids in. He opened that up. But let me tell you something. In was already an entrepreneur before he came there. I think we just kind of helped plant some extra seeds and guide him.
Right on.
So, but yeah, he was destined for greatness, which most of our kids that come in here are, you know.
Now, you saying that you planted the seed. What I think is cool, because every kid in here has a business. They can tell you what interest is on everything. Tell them a little bit more about that, on basically how you bring them in, get their business started.
So every kid that come out of here with a business plan, a business proposal, resume, business card, some type of product that could be tangible or, you know, a digital e-commerce product. Each kid will come out with that, and they also learn financial literacy, as he says, because they know you should make some money if you don't know what to do with it after you get it. So that's the most important thing.
Okay. I personally love Dream Tree Academy. I volunteer up here and try to take care of the kids as much as I can. Make sure they're learned up on their homework first. Make sure they learn the podcasting, and also what we do right now, we teach them music, okay? But when you come and do music up here, it's got to be good music, okay? It can't be none of that gang-banging East Side, West Side music up here.
Positive.
It's got to be positive music, okay? Now, let me ask you this. When it comes down to the influence on the music and everything and the kids, how does that play a big part in people's lives?
Just in general?
Well, I mean, in the teenagers' lives, basically.
You know, we grew up in the 80s, 90s, whatever. And it was always told by artists like, oh, you know, it's just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just like this. It's all entertainment. But it gets to a point where it's not entertainment, man. We know how this influenced. I know how it influenced me as a kid.
Me too.
You know, but it's definitely influential. And we need to hold ourselves accountable for the music and content that we put out. I'm not saying that you can't talk about the struggles and the hard times and the street aspect of it. But what's the flip side of that coin? You know,
right.
What really comes with that? Because we like to glorify it and glamorize it as if you're going to be out here nonstop making money and selling drugs and killing people and there's no consequence to it. But that's far from reality. So if you're going to talk about that thing, I think you should definitely talk about the other side of it and tell the real story of it. That most people do not make it out alive. Most people do not make it out without spending a large amount of time and money in the penitentiary. So that's just what happens. I don't know too many stories where you have a successful drug dealer who makes it out, and I'm sure there's some out there.
No, I mean, successful drug dealers, I mean, they might have flipped their drug dealing business into something else, but they're not the number one heroin dealer in the world. They don't get any credit for that at the bank. They can't go. Right. They can't go and pay for a down payment on anything because they're gonna ask them where that money comes from. So, as far as being I was influenced by music heavily as a kid. I was 8, 9 years old, having ambitions as a writer, thinking I was Tupac with a bandana on. My parents, they didn't want me to listen to that stuff, but the culture, when I stepped outside, all my friends were listening to that. My older brothers and sisters were listening to that. So music is important. When we do music up here, yeah, we might step out of, me personally, I might step out of bounds sometimes, but, it's music, man, and I'm not putting nothing that's going to hurt nobody.
I think that's important, man. I think that we need to hold ourselves accountable. And especially when you get to a certain age, you know what I'm saying? I think that music, a lot of people like to say, oh, you're 40 years old, you're still rapping. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that you should be able to rap when you're 60, 70 years old. If that's what you do, no one looks at Willie Nelson or rockers or anybody. Kiss can come out on a tour today and do well. Yep. And no one looks down at them, or after your kids, you've been graduated, and you may be in your 40s and 50s, if you pick up a guitar and start playing at a coffee shop, no one looks down at that. But if you're 40 and 50 and you pick up a mic and say, you know what, I'm going to start rapping, people look at that like, oh, you too old to rap. So don't think that you're too old to rap. Now, I said it to say the content that you're talking about does make a difference.
It does.
So if you're 40 or 50 years old and you're talking about standing on the block, selling packs and drilling on people, you just sound like an idiot at this point. Because by this time, you should, if you are doing illegal things, then you shouldn't be standing on the block by now.
Right, you shouldn't even be talking about it. Honestly, if you're really doing it, anything that y'all hear me talk about, selling kilos or anything, I'm not doing it. Okay, this is a word that rhymed on my paper. Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. So if y'all hear me saying some outlandish stuff, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm out here trying to promote a positive image and be a good person for these kids out here. So just know that, man. A lot of these rappers, like myself, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes me and my people's illegal, leave scenes like Quentin Tarantino. That can mean anything, but it does leave a scene too. You know what I mean, in people's minds. And it's artistic freedom all day, but you also gotta have your head on the swivel and know if you out here faking. Not saying it's faking, but if you out here expressing yourself in an artistic way that isn't all the way suitable with your everyday life, then let people know that. You ain't gotta, nowadays it's okay to be an artist, a director, a producer, all these things. It's okay to be that nowadays. You ain't gotta always be the hardest, most thoroughest gangsters do, because you see what's happening to all the rappers. They targeting them. A lot of them getting fed charges. A lot of them out here losing their lives, So just make sure you're smart, man. If you let them know, man. That's what it is. Yep.
I definitely, when I was a rapper, I definitely did street things in reality. But, I definitely had some songs where, shoot, you'd have thought I was Pablo Escobar or some songs. Boy. I did have some songs like that, and I definitely had some songs where I was a Jason Voorhees at times, or my brother Lynch sometimes. So, I do understand the entertainment aspect of it, but I think nowadays, because it's oversaturated with the drilling and killing, and like when you're really talking about somebody who's talking about the dead and talking about smoking on this person.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
when it's like way beyond, it's just a different level of disrespect.
It's devilish, honestly. You know what I mean? It's devilish when you start bringing other stuff.
Demon time.
You'll never catch me saying that. It even makes me feel weird when I say on God. Like, I'm not going to put nothing on God. Well, back in my house, you used to say, I swear to God, you got in trouble. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't even say, I swear to God. So, nowadays they have a lot of freedom to say what they want, but they need to watch it, man. And watch their mouth before they holding it. That's one of my favorite terms right there, man. So, all right, but we'll wrap it up though a little bit. Go full circle on this. What are you doing coming up 2026 for Dream Tree, man?
Woo!
I know it's a bunch. I know. Give a little synopsis of what you got going, fam.
I'm really focused on the entrepreneur aspect, like just within the works here. We do work with a lot of Mizzou students. And we're working with them. I realize what I have by working with them, meaning like how I can really utilize their time wisely that can work out for Dream Tree and the community outside of Dream Tree. And also help them out as interns to better their resume. Initially, when I started to receive all these interns, I was mainly just trying to just funnel them through and see if I can pop out one good one every 10 or 20 that would be dedicated. That's a lot to ask for an early 20-year-old trying to figure out which way they want to go, especially if they're not from here. So I had to understand that. In entrepreneurship, you realize that, your passion, you would like to see everyone just as passionate as you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just not the reality. If you find one person, 2 people, 3 people that are just as passionate, see your vision and just as passionate and give 110% like you do, that's a blessing, but it's rare to find. So, when you realize that, I had to realize that now I'm pivoting. So, answer your question, yes, I'm recreating a new system with my interns.
Okay.
To help with branding and marketing for outside entities, small businesses, nonprofits, and the communities of Columbia. I'm charging more because what we're doing here is it's an academy, and so what I'm doing is I'm separating myself from the image that I had beforehand. I really ran this as like more charitable rather than just an academy. I'm always going to give scholarships and opportunities for people who just don't have it, because doesn't mean that they should be not have the same privileges that everyone else has. Right. So the underprivileged kids, we will have scholarships for them, but I always kept it at either no price or a very low price to help out people that are going through like poverty or whatnot. But I can't sustain that way, and if I'm teaching entrepreneurship, I have to run this place like a business. And so that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize when going into a nonprofit, because 9 times out of 10 you go into it with your heart.
Yep.
But as you scale and grow in nonprofit, you realize this is a business. So that's really what I'm doing. A lot of pivoting.
Okay.
And just finding new people.
Okay, pivoting with new folks, new faces, new energy. We're gonna have all that around here, man. I'm personally excited because we have an event space in the front, guys. If you have a business or anything out here, we can probably hold a good 100 people in the front. If you want to throw a party, want to throw a little concert, want to throw a Christmas holiday party, anything, y'all should let us know, because we'll take care of y'all. We'll get y'all a good spot, get you a great pay, get you a great price, and also the space just looks amazing. You got fireplaces in there, got a spot where you can take pictures at in there. It's just an amazing event space in the Dream Tree. So that's one thing I'm excited about being able to help with next year. And yeah, man,
when you say party, now we ain't gonna just be up in here clubbing. We ain't gonna be up here. We be clubbing.
No parties like that. It's sophisticated right up in here, man.
Yes.
It's a little sophisticated up in here when you come up in here, man. Yeah.
It's definitely case by case.
Well, I just want to say thank you to my brother for being the first guest on the Prodacall podcast season 4 in on our podcast. And we out here, man. This whole podcast is gonna be a lot more business like this year. So just watch out for it. Yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.